is Modern Storage Unpacked. Let's go.
Welcome back to Modern Storage Unpacked. Military life is full of movement, new orders, new bases, new beginnings, and sometimes long goodbyes. In the middle of all of that transition, storage quietly becomes a huge part of the story. Today, we're talking about how military families use storage during deployments, PCS moves, and homecomings, and how units end up holding a lot more than just belongings. They hold memories, security, and pieces of home. I'm your host, Hannah.
And I'm your co-host, Kaylee.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out an episode of Modern Storage Unpacked. So let's get into it because this is a big part, I feel like, of our clientele. A lot of our customers, I've noticed, definitely come from the military. First off, how does storage really play a part in military families? I think one of them being just the frequent moves, having to move around a lot. You got temporary duty stations or maybe just like unexpected orders. They're like, hey, you got to go 3 states away.
Yeah, and those can just come up very randomly and kind of catch you off guard. So you're a little bit unprepared for some of those.
Absolutely.
You're like, what am I going to do with all this stuff?
I don't think I would do well with that. But military families, they definitely live in a world where nothing stays the same for a long period of time. You know, one day you're all unpacked and the next day you're kind of packing up again, halfway across the country maybe. So storage can definitely play a part of what to do with that in the time being. It also becomes like your extra closet space during all that uncertainty.
Yeah, and I mean, storage units become more than just like boxes. They're a safety net. It can be a spot to keep your furniture, cars, and keepsakes, you know, while you're trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm thinking like if I'm getting orders to go up and move, I would be concerned with my stuff. Like, where do I put my car? Where do I put these things? You know, can I take this stuff with me? So I definitely can see that. There's also that like emotional side, I'm sure, to having to like pack up your life so quickly. But storage can really let families put a pause button on all that emotion, you know, making sure their stuff is safe and there for you when your next chapter begins. When someone gets that notice of deployment, there are a lot of things they do need to prep for. Kind of as we mentioned, storing cars and furniture, personal belongings during deployment. It's not just about packing up a suitcase. It's their entire lives that really need to be kept safe.
Yeah. And I mean, again, you want to just make sure that you are choosing the right type of storage. Again, climate control is definitely a big consideration. You know, some deployments can last up to several months, even more than a year. Your items like, you know, uniforms, keepsakes, and electronics, you want to make sure that you're storing those properly. Absolutely.
And a good thing about self-storage is that there is some flexible lease terms in there too. I know we offer month-to-month leases. So if you're not sure exactly how long you're going for, deployment lengths absolutely can be unpredictable, but storage can give that flexibility. They can adjust it based off of your orders, housing situations, or extended travel. So definitely utilizing that month-to-month contract can benefit.
And storage, again, it keeps the everyday life of home intact. So when someone comes back, it's familiar, it's theirs, and it's ready for them.
So Kaylee, if you had to pack up your life for a few months, what is one thing that you would insist on storing safely no matter what? Like you couldn't take it with you, but you had to make sure it was safe.
Probably all of like my childhood like photo albums. So it would definitely be something where, you know, climate control and a nice like locker, maybe 5x5, maybe 5x10.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
It would have to be my son's baby clothes.
Yeah.
I know it's like hard to get rid of in a sense, or it might sound weird to some people, but that's just something sometimes I'll open up and look and I'll be like, yeah, you were this little one. So that's definitely one, but memory, photo memories, definitely have to have those too.
So it's important to make sure that you're storing them properly, especially for family members that are gone away. You know, they'll definitely want to revisit those when they come back.
Going into PCS moves and temporary housing. So what are PCS moves? PCS means permanent change of station. Basically, military code for pack up your life and move again. When those orders come in, sometimes they do before your housing does. You know, if you got to move, but you don't have your housing, set up yet where you're going. Short-term storage can make those tricky weeks or even months a lot less stressful. You know where everything is, it's there, you can label it, it's accessible, so that can kind of help when those unexpected things happen.
What we're going to talk about is a few tips for, kind of organizing during that, again, kind of you just got your orders and now you're trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah, definitely labeling boxes, I feel like by room. So like your kitchen, bedroom, living room things, that can make unpacking at the next location so much easier.
Yeah. And then two, making sure that you're keeping those important documents accessible. So again, a copy of your orders, IDs, medical records. You don't want to just tuck them at the bottom of the box. You really want to make sure that they're easy for really anyone to go grab if need be.
And then always make sure you think about what you'll need immediately versus what can kind of stay in storage. A little planning really goes a long way. So if it's like something where you're throwing most of your things into storage and you're not really thinking about, again, that medical record I might need or birth certificate I might need to enroll my son into school, whatever it may be, make sure you have that easily accessible.
So even in the chaos of PCS move, storage gives families control. It's a place where memories, keepsakes, and furniture aren't lost in the transition.
All this moving and storing isn't just about furniture in boxes. Sometimes it's about things that you can't replace. Uniforms, medals, baby keepsakes. Let's talk about the sentimental side of military storage, because that's a huge part. So going into those like medals, flags, uniforms, they're not just clothes or decorations. They really do represent service and sacrifice and chapters of life that families want to preserve. Also, all those children's keepsakes, those, first onesies that they had, the first sock pair that they had, all those definitely need to be saved during moves. Memory boxes, the photo albums that you were mentioning. All those things that really you just cannot replace. Those things absolutely have to be safe.
So these aren't just belongings. They're pieces of identity and sacrifice.
Yeah, I could imagine it would feel like you are losing some sense of identity during quick moves like that, not having all those, things holding you together so easily. But storage, again, can really support military families during this stressful time. We can offer, understanding with schedule changes, especially when it comes to unexpectedness, as we do offer those flexible month-to-month lease terms. So if it's something you're just not really sure of, or it's like you need to come that day, I need something today, but I might be out in a month, I might extend it in 3 months, who knows, we're here for you. Also, I feel like having controlled gated access and gate access hours can play a huge part. If you are getting orders and you're putting things into storage, I recommend going ahead and setting up like one person that you trust, that in case somebody needs to go in and access certain things, they can do that on your behalf while you're gone. Especially if it's something like where you're not going to be able to be reached like via email or phone or things like that. So all of us at Modern Storage, we have a key authorization form that you can fill out where you are given us permission to have a family member, whoever it is, access your storage on your behalf. And we do ID the person, so it does stay pretty secure. So even though there's a gate, there's a code, maybe a lock to it, if you have someone that you trust that just in case, you need to go get a birth certificate, you need to go get medical records, we can get that set up for you, and having convenient gate access hours as well. Like let's say you get home at 9 p.m., you could still swing by your unit if you need to grab something, when you just get home. So I feel like all that stuff does matter in the conveniency for military families.
I know all of our Modern Storage locations offer a discount for military. It's 50% off of your second month.
Absolutely. I think that's huge. I'm glad that we do that. So anywhere you guys go and it's Modern Storage, definitely ask for that if you are in the military. So just our little part of saying thank you and helping out during, I'm sure, a stressful time. And I think one of the most meaningful things a facility can really offer during that is simply just a little bit of empathy, listening, understanding, and treating tenants with respect, regardless of how small or long your rental may be with us. When a family is leaving home for months and moving across country, feeling understood, I feel like just goes a really long way. So to every military member and family who trust us with your belongings, we definitely don't take that lightly. We see all the care, the memories, the sacrifices in all of the units, and we are honored to play a small role in keeping it all safe. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see y'all next time on Modern Storage Unpacked.
That's a wrap for this episode of Modern Storage Unpacked. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe. See you next time.